Hey guys, it's Pineapple here, and today we'll be discussing another special Japan exclusive promotional manga setting up what we'll be seeing in My Hero Academia Heroes Rising when it releases very soon in theaters. In the film, we're led to believe that Nine, the villain, is set up to interfere in the lives of Deku, Bakugo, and the other UA students for the very first time. In this video, we'll discuss how that isn't true and also set up the story that I've already told in my video about Nine's backstory and his involvement with the League. In that video, we saw how he joined up with the Doctor in the League, but in this comic, we get more of an idea about why. I want to remind you guys you can follow me on Twitter at VocalPineapple for all sorts of fun and MHA related tweets, and you can like the video, hit the subscribe button, and also hit the bell icon to get notifications whenever I upload. But now, if you notice, there's also a join button that you can click too. This lets you contribute a small amount every month towards the channel, and as a member of the Pineapple Hero Agency, you get access to some cool rewards like custom badges and emojis, and even stuff like access to monthly Q&As and having me do a video on a new series every month. Check out all the details on my community tab to pick which tier you want to support, and welcome to the Hero Agency. With all that said, let's finally get to talking about this hidden Bakugo and Deku backstory after that intro. Like I've said, this is a special pair of chapters focusing on Deku and Bakugo before their time at UA during their second year of middle school. In the very beginning, we see a busy and narrow street with bustling businesses and shops lining both sides of the avenue, offering all sorts of things, from sweets and delicious foods that would catch your attention, only to be drowned out by the smell of grease and oil a few shops down at the Hero Support Technical Shop. It's a bright and sunny day, and Izuku Midoriya walks down a side street nearby, reading a comic book that has a special interview featuring All Might, so he's really got his head buried in its pages. He hears a voice go, "What? Deku?" and replies, "Kachan?" The trio of Bakugo and his two lackeys walks up to Izuku, and Bakugo says, "Don't walk in front of me. Out of the way. Stay out of my sight." Bakugo's friends join in bothering Izuku and even snatch his book away from him, with one using his long fingers to do the job. They see the interview of All Might and the shine in Izuku's eyes from the inspiration this book was giving him, and it's laughable to them. They start making fun of him wanting to be a hero, but interestingly enough, Bakugo grabs the book from his friends and throws it back to Izuku, telling his friends, "Come on, at least let him dream," walking off of a smirk as Izuku catches the book. Could it be that Bakugo felt bad for Izuku here? Who knows? Deku thinks to himself that Bakugo is right. Without a quirk, how could he ever be as amazing as Bakugo with his bright future, with his powerful quirk that even adults often praise? It's likely that Bakugo can become a hero with an ability like that, but still, Deku thinks to himself that he still wants to do the same. He hopes, but deep down, he knows just how unlikely that reality really is. Bakugo's friends notice a lot of smoke coming from the main street and wonder if maybe there's some sort of fire or incident. Of course, right on cue, there's a loud scream and we cut to the scene where we see a villain robbing a purse. This villain's entire upper body is covered in smoke, or maybe the upper body even is smoke, sort of like the sludge villain from episode 1 of the series. The bottom half looks more solid and it does have hands and feet, but this thing is running down the main avenue and stealing everyone's bags and purses while the white and thick chalky smoke invades and irritates their lungs with a woody, peppery-like taste to it. It is disgusting, and smoke stings the eyes of everyone nearby, obscuring their sight so the villain can try to make a clean getaway. Izuku rushes to call a hero, and Bakugo's friends try to get the four of them to leave, but Bakugo isn't having it. There's a real villain here, right? Well, since Bakugo's in his second year of middle school, he's still worried about how he'll get into UA High. If he manages to take this villain down on this very public street, he thinks that he can get into UA via recommendation like Shoto or Momo eventually do. His friends try reasoning with him, even Izuku does, but Bakugo isn't having it. He lunges forward, flying towards the villain with his explosion quirk. The villain actually manages to blow Bakugo back and hold them in the air, and that's when Bakugo starts to analyze his quirk. Bakugo thinks that it's a quirk that turns a person's body in the clouds, which also would allow him to pretty much smokescreen people on demand. Bakugo starts blowing the clouds away with his explosions, and he's excited at the thought that he only has to blow something weak away like clouds. On the streets, we see crowds gathering to watch this amazing student hunt this villain down. Bakugo thinks to himself, he's doing it! He thinks to himself that all of the top heroes have a story from their childhood from when their bodies just moved. This is his chance. He expertly gets out of the villain's sight with his explosion and goes in for the win, but suddenly, the entire sky darkens and a massive storm begins to rain down on the narrow avenue of Tatooine Shopping Street. Rain splashes around and coats everything, making the asphalt reflect the shine of the now crashing and piercing flashes of lightning scattered through the area. We see a cracked window and a hand inside of a coat pocket with someone standing in shadow looking out of it, presumably looking out onto the street where these events are taking place. Suddenly, a massive quake of lightning erupts from the sky, filling the entire area with a blinding light, casting dark shadows on anything blocked by a person or a car. As the vision starts to come back to everyone in the area and they rub their eyes and stick their fingers in their ears to sort of relieve some of the hearing loss from the thunder, a hurricane of wind and water forms between Bakugo and the escaping villain, sending rubble, trash cans, and even nearly people flying. Bakugo gets forced back and winds up on his back on the ground, soaking wet as the storm suddenly ends, leaving a bright and sunny sky to shine down on everyone as they wonder what happened. Bakugo says that he isn't satisfied of how things ended off here, so he rushes forward to go after the villain despite the amazing show of force that they just witnessed. Izuku once again looks at Bakugo and thinks that this is amazing. But wait, he thinks, there's something that Bakugo isn't thinking of. He tries to call out to him, but Bakugo is long gone and of course isn't going to turn around for anything, especially Deku. Bakugo spends quite a bit of time looking for the smoke villain, finding numerous sources of smoke that annoyingly are completely unrelated to his search, like people in an alleyway burning stuff to cook sweet potatoes. At the same time, Bakugo's friends worry about him, but Izuku says he'll run off and go help him, puzzling Bakugo's friends, who also remember how scary things just were. They think, why would Deku go? Before they have time to question him, Deku is already running and making his way at a slow pace. Bakugo flies around and gets on top of a building, and he looks down at Deku, thinking about how Deku doesn't have a quirk, so he has to spend the extra effort on the ground, going around every single street, while Bakugo's lucky and has his quirk, so he can look around for smoke from above. It's at this time that Bakugo thinks of all the information that he's learned so far about the villain and everything that's happened so far. And that's when he realizes something. The villain's quirk isn't clouds after all. It seems like the quirk user is actually a sandman, and the rain turned him into mud, so he'd just been hiding on the floor waiting for Bakugo to give up his search. Just imagine Muck if Muck was a quirk user and not a Pokemon, with a more devilish kind of face, and that's what we have here. Bakugo goes for the close-range explosion on the villain when he finds him, but suddenly a hero shows up on the scene. He's the Buster hero, Airjet, and he uses his Buster Shot to blow the mud villain away. It's interesting to me that this looks like a hero that makes use of a lot of support items like arm cannons, a jetpack, and leg boosters. This guy takes the villain out in one shot, and Izuku finally arrives on the scene, realizing that Bakugo managed to piece everything together on his own after all. Bakugo looks back at Deku, confused as to why Deku ran after him in the first place. That's when he realizes. He realizes that Deku realized the truth about the villain's quirk before he did, so that's why Deku was searching on the ground in every possible street. That's actually far more impressive than Bakugo flying around aimlessly until he figured it out, and it actually gets Bakugo really mad when he thinks about it. So with the issue of the sand villain wrapped up, we still have the issue of the sudden massive storm that appeared. What was the cause of that? Well, we cut to a torn down building and we see three new but familiar faces to anyone that's been keeping up with this channel or My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. We see Chimera, Slice, and Mummy, the three members of Nine's group in the movie, and they're amazed at Nine's power to change the weather. But something is wrong. Nine collapses. They ask him what's wrong, and he explains that his quirk went out of control. He has amazing power, but he can't control it because it's so great. His quirk actually damages him and causes him to deteriorate further and further to even use it, but according to Nine, he has great ambitions for the world, and his quirk is the way that he plans on bringing his ambitions about. So Nine makes his goal very clear. He needs to find a quirk that lets him control his power without damaging his body. With that proclamation, Slice and the others help him up, and agree. Let's go, 9. So with that, we've come to the end of this story, but you can see what happens to 9 next in my last fully voiced video describing more about his weather control quirk and how he meets the Doctor to become the threat that he is in My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. Of course, to truly know what comes next for the character, you can go watch the movie in theaters starting February 26th if you're lucky and you're in one of the regions where it comes out on that day. This cool prequel manga gives us a look at how 9 intervened in Deku and Bakugo's day, and how without even knowing it, Deku and Bakugo were actually in the presence of the man that they would have to take on Naboo Island in Heroes Rising. I love seeing things come full circle like this, and soon I'll be uploading a video detailing the full story about 9's actions in the movie, and I'll also detail each member of his team from Slice to Chimera to Mummy. It's going to be a very, very interesting ending of the month content-wise with a lot to talk about, so make sure you've got the notification bell on, and make sure you've clicked notify all in the drop-down menu to get notifications for all of my uploads. I want you guys to tell me what you want to know about the movie next, and what I should focus on making videos the most. You tell me in the comment section below, and I'll get to work. Let's bring this video to a close. Expect more soon because I've got some really interesting stuff lined up. So I'll see you guys soon. It's Pineapple. I love you guys. Peace.